welcome back to the Hooligans pitch. It's been 18 days, so we took a winter break without meaning to, kind of.
Yeah, is this thing still on? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, get the dust off the
I was
mic,
just going to say, let me blow
shake
on
it
this really
out.
quick. It has been a minute, Chad. I think the
Mhm.
international break as well as the cups have kind of just, taken away the full effect of what the EPL is. And we're seeing, I don't want to say any like tides turning this month, but I feel like the last week has been pretty straightforward. I don't think anything too crazy has
Yeah.
happened, at least in the EPL. But happy to be back. I hope
Yeah.
we got another weekend of FA Cup, and then we're back in the EPL, and then we get rolling again.
Yeah, then it's just a dash to the finish, basically.
Every weekend we're going. I mean, we're over the halfway point, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I feel like we just started talking about this season like
That's
a couple
crazy.
weeks ago.
That's really crazy. Yep. All right, let's jump into it. I'm still on dry January, believe it or not.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Rocking it. I've been pounding these seltzers like no other. I'm going polar right now because the spindrifts were breaking the bank.
Well, I'm with you. I'm spindrift tonight,
bro,
so
it's killing me. What I would do.
Are the polars just don't compare?
They're on sale at Sam's Club. And to be fair, I'm not really into the lemon seltzers, so those Spindrift packs, the 24 pack, if they have lemon in them, it's just not worth it to me. So I'm holding out. I really like that one you're drinking. Those at the Blood Orange.
Blood Orange one. It is pretty good.
Damn. All right, have another sip for me. And let's jump into it. We gotta talk about City. It's been over a week now since that game happened, but boy was I depressed that day.
Yeah, and before this we kind of had a break of no City because they were doing the Club World Cup thing too, so I feel like they came back and they're still the City we all know and hate.
Chad, it was so good for like, I don't know what, 60 minutes, 70 I guess when De Bruyne came on for 68 minutes. I was really happy. Even when they were losing, because Silva scored a great goal, and I was like, okay, but this is Castle, and City and Castle have had those battles in the past, so I didn't want to fully give up. And then when they took the lead, I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, thank you. It's like, thank you so much. And then De Bruyne came on, and oh man, when he scored that goal, I just laid back down on the couch and probably let out the worst grunt you've ever heard. It felt like our season was over then. And I know we're so far away, but dude, I was so sad.
Yeah, he came in and looks like he hasn't missed a beat, unfortunately, for the rest of the league. We would have liked to see him get his feet back gradually and ease his way back into things, but no, he went out there and completely turned the game on its head.
If it weren't for him, they would have lost that game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they were playing terribly, but Newcastle was just playing better.
Yeah.
And then I think, a little bit, it's still the Newcastle issue of like they play such a high energy tactic, but they have so many injuries that they can't really replace the guys out there when they need to. So I think aided a little bit by, people getting tired towards the end of the game, but still, De Bruyne came in and just, it was the old City, just feed De Bruyne the ball and he's going to do something with it, whether it's him scoring or him finding the assist.
He was all over the pitch too, and all his teammates were looking for him. It was like, give him the ball and let's make some runs. Whether it be on the wing when he crossed the ball in, or he'd be in the middle looking to pass and opens up his hips and scores a fantastic goal that just looked like a pass into the back of the net. And I know we spoke on this a couple of weeks ago, and in that game, it just looked like Newcastle let him kind of get his bearings back, kind of let him get the ball to his feet and see how it feels instead of acting like he's been there for the last year. And they kind of did that towards the end of the game, but by then it was far too late. It was when he was kind of dribbling the ball down into the corner, and they were just, I don't know, more taking out their frustrations on him. But different team when he's there.
Oh, for sure.
Doku wasn't his best, but that wasn't shocking either. I mean, this isn't even De Bruyne's best either because he only did it for 20 minutes. If he's out there doing this for 60 plus, I'm nervous again. And I wasn't nervous from the start of the season when he went out 29 minutes in up until when he got subbed in the 69th minute. That was a nice long break of not being too stressed out. And now I'm like, every goal matters, every game matters. When we'll talk about Liverpool, but I was like, you score 5, score 6. I was like, we might need that. We really might need that.
Yeah. I feel like every fan was probably on the same page of like, yes, City's a threat, but like it just didn't hold the same weight because they didn't have De Bruyne, and like they weren't really playing up to the standard that everyone knows. And you saw the games where Rodri wasn't available, and they just kind of crumbled. And I don't know if that's going to happen again. I think we're, everyone's got to strap in and try and get the lead that they can. And I don't know.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, and this is still without Haaland back. Like, I think he's end of the month. I think is rumored to be back now. So
I read early February now too. That was 7 hours ago. So
yeah. So whatever's going on with him is clearly more serious than just a little ankle knock. But I guess that's the time to take advantage of, like, they're not completely full strength now. So try and get in what you can, but man, it's gonna be a rough one. I mean, Ederson went out injured, so maybe there's some chance to catch the backup keeper off a little bit. But yeah, Newcastle, they're falling.
They had a chance, man. They had a chance, and I liked what they were doing. But yeah, they just got tired. They made one sub in the last 5 minutes of the game. They just had to. I mean, his work rate is insane, and I think by that point he was just exhausted.
Oh, so, yeah.
Not good for the rest of us, but hey, we'll do what we can. The good news is, Chad, the Football Finance said that if all of City's suits file through, they will be relegated. So we have that on the horizon. So there's
any day now.
Hey, well, the court date. Did you see this? The court date was set, but they won't tell us when it is.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, end of the season,
I feel like,
what are we gonna do here?
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know why they're keeping the court date so secretive, because like just because that's the date doesn't mean it's done and finished that day.
Right.
That trial is going to go on for quite a long time. But I would assume pretty soon here it'll start, because you have taken the time to do all your fact finding and getting all your evidence that you need, and I don't think you want to wait till summer if then it's potential another City title that is now on the chopping block potentially. Like, I don't think they want to keep getting into that mess of like how far we stretch this out. I don't know. I guess I'll kind of jump this into the Everton and Forest charges. I hope with this charge against Everton and Forest and the previous charge against Everton that they're just setting up like really strict precedents, right? Because they haven't had that really for financial fair play stuff at all. So sorry Everton, sorry Forest. You might be the example here, but if it gets City's charges at least like mostly found guilty, then I think everyone will thank them for their sacrifice.
They're volunteering.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. It's I don't know. I feel bad for Everton. Like, they already got the charge. Now they're gonna get another one, and like it without the 10-point deduction already, that'd be what
11th,
fighting for mid-table, right?
Yeah, like, which is great. I mean, respect to that too, because they look like they've been like at times they look like a mid-level team, a mid-table team. As of late, they've been struggling, 3 losses and a draw, but if they get deductions and Forest get deductions, the bottom of the table now is going to get real spicy. This is going to be like last year all over again.
Everyone's focused on the top, but that bottom part of the table is going to be just as hot.
And if you put City down there too, what if you just put City's at 0? And you leave Sheffield and Everton and Forest with 10. I mean, I'm sure City will make that up, but it'd be fun. I'd be here for it. I'd watch it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Highly unlikely, but it would. Yeah, it would just be neat. Yeah, this whole. I'm sick of waiting. We've been talking about this financial fair play thing since it's probably been a year when we first started talking about this.
Probably, yeah.
And the information we've received from a year ago has been almost nothing for City.
Yeah.
Anything? Can you anything off the top of your head? That's different.
Just 115 charges.
And that's been the same. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
That hasn't gone down or up. So, I hope they just get moving.
Yeah, they just got to get the ball rolling on this because it's not going to be a quick process. Even once the trial starts, City's going to fight tooth and nail to disprove everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I hope Premier League and FA is ready for that battle and won't just get rolled over. Because then I think if they do, I think that probably opens up the door for a lot of the teams that can spend recklessly, like your Chelseas and stuff, and just be like, all right, keep spending, do what we gotta do, and then they'll take us a trial and we just say no thank you and move on.
Do you think those could potentially open the door for Super League? Because say they're like, all right, City, you're out, you're relegated, and then they're like, well, you know what, we're just gonna drop out of EPL entirely and go start up with PSG and whoever else wants to join this Super League. And
I mean, I guess you could, because they need to make money, right? Like, and if they get relegated down to just the championship, you're still probably gonna attract a lot of fans, but the amount of money available to championship teams is just not Premier League level. So maybe you have to get creative and jump into some Super League deal, or I don't know, sign up for some other random league that someone's trying to start, and they gotta meet their bottom line still. So, but then at the same time, if it's all that, I think you maybe get some players not wanting to leave Premier League or any league just to join Super League,
right?
So who knows? That would be a interesting turn of events, certainly. But I don't know. We just need to start it. Just get it going.
Yeah, that's all I want to see. I want to see that start up and maybe Pep in the championship, because that would be kind of neat to see him. Mm-hmm. That's a challenge, because I imagine if City's gonna go down, they're gonna lose half their team. Now, does the financial fair play, does that, if they're gonna fine them for these things, points, whatever, will they have to sell players to then make up for that huge loss that they have? Because then they're gonna have to sell off big names.
I mean, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that'll play out. We know Chelsea got the transfer ban for that year that Lampard was there, so I guess maybe they could just go that route of you just can't spend any more money, but over the 10 years or whatever the charges were, that's probably quite a bit of money. So it could be, I don't think you could transfer ban them for 3, 5, 4 or 5 seasons. That'd be kind of nuts, but hopefully they got a good academy then, I guess.
Yeah, where those youth kids at. All right, and then I guess just the last thing on City, that Oscar Bob goal. Great finish. We didn't talk about that one. Slotted in by KDB, and the finish was just perfection. And Dubravka again had another great game. And it was just dang it.
He's trying. He's trying to keep Newcastle in these things.
He's playing really well. He's better. He's been playing better than Pope. At least I have. If I were them, I have way more confidence in him. Pope looked like a lost soul out there at times.
Yeah, Pope last season feels like Dubravka this season, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he was making all those crazy saves and really keeping Newcastle in these games. And what he had, I don't know, 15 clean sheets or something last season. But this season, he hasn't looked the same. And I know they've had some defensive injuries and stuff to kind of alter that as well. But yeah, Dubravka looked good. I think Trippier probably could have intercepted this pass, but I think it was just that late game, like tired legs, tired mind kind of moment. And Oscar Bob was fresh and did the little shimmy and got by, and
it was nice.
It was nice.
It was slick. It made me groan again.
Yep.
And then Bayern, you saw Bayern come knocking for Trippier. They declined, but I'm curious as to what Castle might do. Did they just kind of throw this season away, get some money for Trippier? I mean, he's going to be 34. I think he's 34 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's definitely on the upper side of things. Maybe I'm going a little too far.
Yeah, he's 33 now. But,
okay, he's got to.
I mean, yeah.
That 34 is coming. I guess next September he'll be 34. So Bayern wants him. Bayern wants these English folks that are willing to go to Germany. Trippier came from Atletico Madrid. He wanted to come back to England for his family. For him to want to go to Bayern somewhere else again, I don't think it's too likely. I just thought it was an interesting offer. And if Castle is kind of desperate and they don't know what the season's going to be,
I mean, yeah, you look at what Newcastle has to play for now. They don't have Champions League. I don't think they're in either cup. I think they got knocked out of both.
No, they're in FA. They play.
Still in FA Cup.
Yeah, they play Fulham.
So playing for FA Cup, really, like
that's it.
You're almost 20 points off first place. So that's pretty much impossible gap to make up. So maybe you do just, if Trippier would want to go, like maybe find a way, just make some money off of him, and your season ended up being a little bit of a wash, but at least if you can make money on an experienced guy that is only getting older, and you would replace at some point anyway, might not be a bad move. But I mean, I don't think he wants to go. It sounds like he went and tried the abroad deal, and I get it. Be home, be with your family,
for sure.
Be in a country that speaks your language clearly and easily. So
he's got Kane and Dyer over there now, so it's
that's true.
It's possible that they could lure
maybe he
him.
wants that Tottenham reunion with them. I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool. And like Bayern, they're probably gonna be Final Four in Champions League, so at least it gives them a shot to get there.
True.
I don't know, something to pay attention to, because Newcastle, I think, is just going to continue to be average to mediocre. I don't see them getting better as time goes on. So we'll leave it at that. I want to talk. I guess we could. I just want to talk foreign football for a second, and we'll kind of segue into Liverpool. Mo Salah going down with the injury in his game. This past week, it was his hamstring. He is supposedly going to be out for 21 to 28 days, traveled back to Liverpool to rehab. I hope he stays. I hope he doesn't go back. We need him.
Yeah.
This is the season that we can do it. It's great to see Jota and Nunez step up in our last game. I wish they could do that week in and week out, but I just think it'll be so much better if Salah's there too. So that's a bit worrisome. I don't like that his agent said he will go back to AFCON if he can in the 21 or 28 days. It's like, then why did he come back to Liverpool? I just think that was weird to then publicly say. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Yeah,
I feel like, I mean, the agent to come out and say anything is just strange. Like, you don't ever see that.
Yeah.
So, that really caught me off guard. But like, I kind of get that if Egypt ends up in the final or something, and he feels like he's well enough to play, like, I mean, you probably want to go back and try and win the thing, but
that's at the 21-day mark, though.
yeah, that's it's I don't know. It depends how bad this hamstring
It's tight.
injury is. If it's just like a little strain, or if it's something more serious. But I mean, he walked off the field himself, so
Mm-hmm.
that's at least a somewhat good sign. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's certainly concerning. I know, obviously Liverpool had planned to be without him for basically the month of January.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you don't want to extend any further. So, I mean, yeah, if you have him back here and he's, going through rehab, maybe you just delay the rehab a little tiny bit to
Rip
like,
that plane ticket.
yeah, like keep him here now. I don't know. I don't think he'll go back, but if Egypt's in that final, I think that's the only time he'll really have to ask himself like if he can do it.
He'd have to be like 95%.
Yeah.
Have to be so close to coming back. I mean, and that's a rushed
Oh yeah. Yeah.
rehab. So here's to hoping that he just returns free of any injuries. Take your time. Liverpool's doing their thing right now. Love what I saw. Uruguay and Andy Carroll coming in hot with some right foot bangers. Did you see that was his nickname over the weekend?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Glad he proved the haters wrong. He had some great finishes. Jota again, that dude is just a scoring monster. I really, if this is like the future front for Liverpool, pretty happy with it, to be honest. It just needs to happen week in, week out.
Yeah, I think between both halves, I think Jota started on the left side and Diaz was on the right.
They switched him all around constantly.
But like that starting did not seem to work very well at all. Like I feel like the connection and flow was off, and then both Jota's goals and I think his assist came from when he was on that right side. So I mean, yeah, he maybe operates better there, but when Salah's in the team, obviously you got to move. Salah's going to take that spot, but
he's got to play on the left hand side when Salah's in there, and then I think just Diaz being on the right side too was kind of awkward. I mean, I think Klopp's experimenting on what he can do with that front three, and even when Gakpo came in, he had Gakpo more central. It worked against Bournemouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't expect this to be the team we're going to roll out against any of the contenders, really. It's just nice to see them get this done with 4 goals against a team that we should be doing this against, and like not going 4-3 against Fulham or 1-1 against Luton. It was, I was a little nervous up until the 70th minute, but then after that I was like, okay, like they figured it out. They figured it out. And it wasn't a stressful 70 minutes. It was just like, let's just get one more, like put them away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Liverpool ever looked bad. Just like first half was definitely just, I think just kind of getting back into actual match speed, right? Like they've all had this little bit of time off, so just it like they I think we're playing well, just not at the level that they could have been playing at. And then second half it was like, all right, they got the rust off and they were good to go.
Thank goodness. Yeah, that's about it for Liverpool for me. And then Jordan Henderson, not going to build up the Saudi League anymore. Don't really know what to call that. That's to say his family was struggling over there. I don't know. I find that surprising and not surprising in 2 different ways. No shit. Your family didn't like it over there. Like that's the obvious, but also you got paid like $3 to $4 million in 6 months. Like, okay, dude, like, I don't know how much you can really complain about that. And now he's going to Ajax, and he's going to be over there. That's just I don't know. I thought maybe a Premier League team would come calling for him, but I'm kind of
surprised no one did.
Yeah, like a Brentford or even a Newcastle or someone who needed a little bit more depth.
Yeah. I figured just having a experienced Premier League midfielder available is kind of rare. So I kind of expected more teams to jump on it. maybe they tried, and maybe he was just, Liverpool faithful, or still felt maybe a little bit of shame for
Oh,
like the way
bro.
he left and everything. He was like, I just got to get out
He's
of
like,
England.
I can't go back.
Yeah,
I think he wanted out of Saudi, but he was like, I can't go back there yet. Too soon.
yeah.
I think you get eaten alive. If you ever had to go back to Anfield, he could have maybe planned a team. Has anyone played us twice? I guess Bournemouth. I think he could have gone to Bournemouth. But
Yeah, I mean, that any of the Saudi transfers, they're fading quickly, right? Like Benzema wants out. Um,
bro,
I heard Firmino was also kind of like done
oh,
with it. Like,
Fulham's looking at him.
oh, really? That'd be
Yeah,
tight.
yeah, I'm cool with it. I like that.
Yeah. So
Are you
I don't
shocked
know.
that it's going the way that?
No, I'm not shocked, but like I'd rather these guys just be straight up rather than Jordan Henderson saying like I'm going here to grow the game. Be like, no, just be straight up. Be like, look, they're paying me a whole bag. I gotta take this. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they average
we get
600,
it.
600 fans for his home games.
Like,
That's crazy, Chad. 600.
I mean, if you want to grow the game, there's got to be more better options
Well, it's just got to be
of where you can go.
organic. It's
Like,
just got to be
yeah,
organic, and this is the same thing as the China League, which we called out. When we kind of last spoke about it, but this went a lot quicker
hmm
than I think we thought it would, just because of how much money was being thrown at them. Right? We're like, okay, this is
yeah,
like not sustainable, but at least like they're throwing so much money around, like they'll get players to come and play there.
yeah,
And two of the top signings, I guess you can call Henderson a top signing because he kind of is, are going to be out of there soon. And it's just that the first domino just went boop, and now they're all going to.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, you can bring in all the big names, but like you still just need the level of play to be good and be entertaining, and clearly it's not there if you're only getting 600 fans, like, or it's just a sport that doesn't work with your country,
I
right?
think it
Like,
maxed out. No, I think like what else could they do?
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. They should have leaned into cricket or something,
For real, yeah.
or kabaddi. Did you watch that
Ooh,
kabaddi video?
I did, yeah.
Dude, lean into
Like,
that.
yeah, get something to make it your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like England, Europe, like they kind of took the soccer and all the football world, right?
And
Like,
that's okay.
yeah, they can have
That's
that.
why
Like,
we're here.
look, like we got American football. Australia's got their version
Yep.
of football. Like, maybe throw something like that. Just a little tweak on a few games that get pulled together. I don't know.
Put two balls out there, see what happens. Let's
Yeah,
get
there you go.
crazy. Like, be different. Yeah, so that's a meme of the week right there for sure. That's all I got for Liverpool. Well done. We'll see you on the 31st. Chelsea.
Ooh.
Yeah. We will not draw them. Write that down.
Yeah, add that to the sticky note.
Okay, actually, we're gonna do that.
Because you two come together and it's just like, let me just shake hands, not even play. We'll be good.
every time, dude. Every time. I'm pretty sure that's who we play on the 31st. I need to double check.
Third.
Yeah. Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
Chelsea 31st. Oh man, the last 6 fixtures. Chad, you ready for this?
Go for it.
1-1 draw, 0-0 draw, 0-0 draw, 0-0 draw, 0-0 draw, 2-2 draw. That's crazy.
All right. This one.
There's
a winner here. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can just kind of go into the Chelsea game anyway. Like, they're playing better, I'd say. But I think Liverpool should still be able to blow past them. Like, it shouldn't have to be another draw.
I hope we didn't use all our energy in this Bournemouth game, but we got 2 more matches even before the Chelsea game.
Mhm.
double checking myself before I speak it in. Yeah, we got Fulham and Norwich, and then we got Chelsea. So I'm actually kind of glad we have a little congested schedule here. I think that's better for us when we're not going to have our top players playing those games, at least the full 90s, but the difference makers are going to be those X Factor guys, Curtis Jones, Joe Gomez, Harvey Elliott. I like those guys who can come in and just like not have to rely on them for what they need, but like they just need to do like one or two good things in their time, and usually that's enough. And especially Curtis Jones, he's been really, really solid lately. And I think he has a future with the team. I wasn't sure for a while. He didn't really stand out to me, but he's been on the come up. So yeah, just those little X factor guys where they don't, Chelsea doesn't have a scouting plan for them. I think they're going to be really important, especially in the late stretch of this season. And if Salah's hurt and we don't have Trent right now, like those are our two best players. And Joe Gomez, man, he was great. He was great last weekend. So just keep it up.
Yeah. I mean, like those two. I mean, even who is like Bradley or someone that
the kid.
Kid that came in, I think at right back or left back or something.
Yeah, what's his? I want to say it was Connor Bradley. I want to say Carson Bradley. Connor Bradley.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good. I mean, obviously still young and learning as the games go on, but I mean, he's kind of got thrown into the deep end here a little bit, and he can at least provide more cover and a different option. So when it is congested, you can rest when you need to and just rotate.
He's feisty too. He's got a little bit of chin hair, so he's like, I'll mess with you, and he does. So glad to see it.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Chelsea Fulham. That's it. Fulham wasn't great. Chelsea was a little better.
Cole Palmer slotting it in again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Chelsea team anymore. Like, they're playing better than they started the season. I'll say that, but I think still the last like 20, 25 minutes of that game, Fulham was just like pounding them with shots and getting the ball in dangerous areas. And, Chelsea's defense held strong, but I think it still shows there's weakness there. And, teams will take advantage of that and have more clinical finishing than Fulham did on the day. And it's a risky game to just get the one goal and, try and hang on to that.
And not even from field play too. It shows the lack of creativity that the likes of Sterling's bringing. I mean, no Nick Jackson. It's not like Nick Jackson was going to be the difference maker here, but Broja has like what is he? This Chelsea team would be really interesting if they got Benzema, which would just like Benzema's not anything he might be. I don't know. It was only 2 years ago, right, when he was on Real and playing great. Did Saudi ruin him? Maybe. Did he get out of shape there? Who knows? But I just want to see that wouldn't be a bad place for him to land and like maybe revitalize his career a little bit. And to put Chelsea on the map again. I don't know. I think that could be kind of neat. But for Thiago Silva to be their best player, that's just a sign.
Yeah. Like it speaks volumes of what level your squad is, right? Where like Thiago Silva's a great player and should be at the top end of your list, but he can't be the best player that you have. Like you need. I guess I'd probably take like a creative midfielder as like best player if you had to like choose a position. And that's certainly not what Chelsea have. Cole Palmer's kind of making his own way at Chelsea and doing what he can, but that's not enough to get them where they want to be for sure.
Thiago's going to be 40 in September. Which, again, not saying that's old, but it's kind of old.
In the sport world, football world, it's up there. Yeah, I don't know. Chelsea's just gonna keep doing their thing. maybe one day everything will come together and they'll blow a team away and
I
keep
want to
moving
see
forward.
it,
I don't
man. I
know.
want to see them blow a team out or something and get some. The City game was definitely the highlight for them,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah,
since then it's been kind of dud after dud.
yeah, for real.
So, yeah, poor Chelsea. They'll find their way.
Yeah,
Chad, let's talk Arsenal, man. Let's get into that one.
cool.
How you feeling? Better?
Good. Yeah, feeling pretty good. I think the little winter break came at a good time for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Our Arsenal players, I think, were getting a little strained mentally, maybe. With the rough stretch of results there, a draw and 2 losses in the league. It's some of those games they played well, just couldn't get the ball in the net, and other games just were not good. So, um, I didn't wake up for this one at 4:30 in the morning.
Hey,
I
that's
almost
fair.
did, but I was.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I woke up and saw the score line and was pleasantly surprised.
I I
um,
got up
and then,
around like the 7th minute, and I watched until I had it on the whole time, but
yeah,
I had my eyes open until about the 13th minute, and I was like, they're fine, and I couldn't do it. I was so tired, and that was 6:30 for me. So,
yeah,
but yes, continue.
yeah. I went back and watched the game afterwards, and I think this was a nice game to get back into the swing of things. Palace
Ugh.
just didn't really offer much.
Ugh.
They had one or two decent shots, but beyond that, I mean, it looked like they need another week to prepare. Like they were just so off the game, and Arsenal looked maybe not like 100% in control like they would want to be, but
Mm-hmm.
I think clearly good enough to not have too many worries in this game. Um, but yeah, Gabriel getting, I'm going to say 2 goals. I know they called it an own goal, but he basically scored that goal.
He created it.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about his first goal. I mean, kind of
first
boosted
goal.
boosted off of who he boost off of our American boy, Chris Richards got on his back a little bit. And I was like, it was. I don't say it was like a fine line between a foul and not a foul, but he definitely like got on his shoulders a little bit for a little more
Yeah,
lift. I think it was fine. It's not like Richards was gonna contest that in any way if he didn't have his
yeah,
hands on him. Yeah, I'm looking at Gabby for my fantasy team too. He's been I think cleaning up a lot of things. I don't think we've ever had him on our board like in the last couple seasons.
he might have been one of our next best picks last season,
I thought we had Saliba, but
maybe. Oh no, yeah, it was Saliba. That's
yeah.
right.
So I'm gonna look at
Yeah.
him, but because
Um,
he's just been playing so aggressive and like
yeah. I mean, he's been playing great. He's, kind of, I think, been like underappreciated, I guess, because, Saliba gets all the talk and highlights because he's so young and very good. But Gabriel, I think he's the highest scoring defender since 2020 or something like that. Which, I mean, it's not a ton of goals, but that's another option on the field to get you a goal. So
yep.
it definitely would be an interesting fantasy pick.
13
I've looked at it
goals.
myself too. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. With the way this Arsenal team like was playing when I was looking at making my changes, I was like, I don't know what to take and who to take and what's gonna happen.
There's
But
so
I mean,
many
yeah,
options. So many options in that
yeah,
team, and like no one is standing out right now.
yeah, yeah. So it's from fantasy perspective hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
I I don't have an Arsenal player in my team because of that. Where it's I guess the safe bet is Saka, but everyone took him. So I don't know. I need to make up points, so I couldn't do that.
You did good. You had a nice little week there, and
Yeah,
we still got some more calculating to do, at least on this match day 21. But Palmer, De Bruyne, and do you have another goal scorer in there too? Tony got in.
Tony, yeah. Yeah, someone else, I think. I don't know. I forget. It's been so long now. um, no, that was it for goal scorers. But I mean, yeah, much better than I'd been doing
for sure.
But yeah, the only other thing I think really needed to talk about in the Arsenal game was for Trossard's goal. Mm-hmm. David Raya, great awareness and reaction, I guess, to get that ball launched out quickly to Gabriel Jesus, and
he threw that right.
Threw it, yeah.
Yeah, that was nice there.
Yeah, perfect throw to him, and you know, both Jesus and Trossard to be ready on the run and you know, make that happen, and then Trossard has that nice little cut back in to get the goal.
He sent his defender flying.
Yeah, he was gone. Yeah, and then I liked Martinelli's goals, that they were just the same goal
for sure. He stayed on his feet though for the second one.
Yeah, so he got a little bit better,
a little cleaner. But yeah, the pass from Jesus for Trossard was top. That was so the way it just like perfectly bent over the top of the defender. That was really nice. So yeah, nice game. 5 goals.
Yeah,
every goal matters. Well, I mean, you got 100 mil for Tony that you want to put up?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think you let Chelsea or someone else do it. I don't think Tony's like that guy. I think he's really good, but I don't think he's that guy.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think he can. If he were in this Arsenal team, I think he would do well. But I don't think he's. I don't know, something about him, just the fit doesn't seem right. And the like rumors of Benzema coming in on loan, I don't think they would bother doing that. I think at this point they're just probably going to roll with this attack force for the rest of the season and just save the money for the summer. And I mean, a lot of talk about Victor Osimhen from Napoli, but I think his release clause is like 120 or something. So if you're paying 100 for Tony, might as well just save it, like, and you know, spend a little more for a younger, maybe more prolific goal scorer. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe this was the one to wake up Martinelli. You know, he's had a pretty quiet season so far. So if he can get scoring again, you know, that'll definitely help quiet down the striker talk.
Yeah, it'll help. I mean, when you have 2 wingers who are scoring just as much as a striker, it'll help alleviate some pressure. I think Arteta just seems like a type of coach that the younger guys would feed off of him a lot more. Like I imagine Benzema coming in there, who's only a couple years younger than Arteta. That just seems like a weird fit to me right now, because I don't. Not saying he wouldn't respect him. I just think the vibe wouldn't be there as much. I feel like the energy would just not be the same. Especially for, like, you know, Benzema is kind of a superstar. He's been a top player for the last decade, and Arsenal doesn't really have a top player of the last decade in their team.
Yeah.
So I think the spotlight would be a little off. I don't know. I think, again, this is a team that's organically built, right? You got guys coming in there buying into a system and then doing great things with it. And Benzema has, like, he's already had a system. So then the team would have to adjust to, like, how Benzema plays.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Benzema should go to Chelsea, because Chelsea doesn't know what they are. And maybe with Benzema there, they'd be like, okay, we give it to him. We find him and he scores. So that maybe gives them an identity. That's kind of how I look at that. I don't know. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see. I want to see some more Saudi players coming in. The ones who are just over it, coming to Premier League. Let's make it interesting again.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. You know, if you won't get paid nearly as much as you are, but you know, at least you're still playing competitive football and in front of thousands of fans rather than hundreds.
That's crazy. That's got to be such a crazy feeling to go from 50,000 plus to 600. You could literally just hear one guy like, "Boo!"
Yeah. Oh my
Wild.
gosh.
All right. Any more to say on your Arsenal, Chad?
No, that's a nice smooth week. That's
Yep.
how I like it.
I bet. All right. Want to just bust some of these games out here as we go down our list?
Yeah.
Burnley Luton. I watched that game in entirety. Pretty boring for the most part until the end when
Mm-hmm.
we saw Adebayo bump into Trafford.
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally throwing up my air quotes there. Bro,
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing. He knew he was backing
Yeah.
his caboose into him and kind of giving him a nudge. And I'm shocked that didn't get called for a foul. How crazy was that?
Yeah. It seems. I mean, he's basically boxing him out like he was, playing basketball or something, right? Like, it's almost that same motion,
It was
and
almost worse. Yeah, it was. It was exactly the same. It just looked so intentional.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what VAR saw to not call that a foul. Like I don't always want the keepers to be like uber protected when they come out for the ball like that, but like this one was just clear as day.
So this is chat. So if if he would have been offside but not touched the keeper, would that goal would have been called back? Because this is just the solid situation all over again for me.
Yeah,
So I'm
pretty much.
like, okay, if he got pushed there by a player and he was offside, he was in the keeper's vision. There's no. It doesn't make any. I just don't understand the rules with the keeper involvement with an opposing player. Like, you can touch them, I guess. You can, because that's what he did.
Yeah.
So this is just such a weird one, just because it looks so obvious.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I watched the highlight, so they played it through and then did the VAR. But when they play it through, like I know the goal is coming because it's the end of the game, and it ended up 1-1. But just watching it live on that, I would have called that a foul and thought the goal would have come from something else. I don't know. It just I feel like it's kind of falls into that, like when you're in the penalty box, like fouls are just judged differently, and depending on who has the ball or what kind of foul it is, or if the keeper's involved, then it's like how much was he held up, or is his vision like completely impeded, and it gets, I think, just too much like kind of gray area in those situations.
Yeah, I guess every ref is just different. This was that referee's second Premier League match he's ever refed. So,
Oh wow.
Rookie move. I mean, this is kind of a game you're going to throw a rookie ref in, right? Burnley Luton. So I guess it's good to work out the kinks that way. But that was I was just like, oh my god, how did that not get called? Shocking, that one.
Definitely.
That was kind of like the big one out of the whole week of things. I was just like, that's crazy. Everything else was, again, pretty straightforward. This wasn't a week where I was questioning too much. Brentford and Forest was a fun neutral game to go back and forth on. A lot of great goals that game too. The Tony, let's just talk that Tony goal really quick. He says it would have been no big deal if he didn't score that, which I totally agree. No one probably would have said much. I mean,
yeah.
But also, whose fault is that? He moved the ball, but no one cared.
Yeah, so that's kind of my thinking here with Forrest now coming out and wanting a explanation or whatever from the refs, but like all your players know the rules, right? And if they felt he was moving the ball unfairly, then why is no one saying anything? And why is your wall not just moving to block him off anyway?
Bro, that wall was so stupid. They weren't watching him. That's their own fault. They weren't watching. the guy laying on the ground, not sure who it was. They could have told him to move more.
Mm-hmm.
Is this on Matt Turner for not adjusting the wall? But I'm like, he can't see the ball, so it's like he thinks the ball is spotted where it is. But I think they're all kind of at fault there, to be honest. Like they if no one can see Tony, I mean, Tony moved that ball a good chunk, foot maybe to the right.
Probably, yeah. But then again, it's like, if this was going to be considered illegal, VAR reviews every goal, right? So then shouldn't they have seen it and been like, oh yeah, he moved the ball too far or more than we kind of allow, and then they could have called it back. So yeah, whatever the ruling is on it, I don't really know if there is this, you can move the ball within X amount of space of a foul. But I think it's just multiple points of like, not failure, but people not noticing or not saying anything, or just no one person let this happen.
Right. It's group effort.
But yeah, Tony took advantage of it, and
what
a way to make your comeback.
I know, he still had to score it.
Yeah, he still scored. It's not like it lined him up perfectly or just a straight shot or anything. So
and it was a great goal. Cool to see him back. Not shocked he scored in his 8-month absence. The Danilo goal in that game was sweet at the top of the box. Mm-hmm. The Neil Maupay goal was nice too. So yeah, fun 3-2 game as a neutral. I had a good time watching that one.
Yeah, definitely.
We got another snoozer, Everton, Aston Villa. Again, we talked about Aston Villa getting to their peak, and now they are saying, what do we do here? And I don't know, a little wishy-washy. They beat Burnley to be the end of December. This was their first game in January in the EPL. So I'm a little worried for them. They need to get their attack clicking again. Where's Matty Cash?
I'm not really sure like what happens to their attack where it just kind of now doesn't click. But they need to get them firing again, because it seemed like they had that run of City and Arsenal and like are playing great, and everyone was like getting worried about them, right? And then now they're kind of, they're still up there, but they're just kind of, they've slowed down certainly, and like
for sure
don't look as threatening.
No, the goal stopped. You subbed in Matty Cash, and then Emery said, we're not playing him anymore. And he comes in at like the 80th minute, and it's just too late by then. I think the game that stands out was the game he was running down the wing, slotting balls into Watkins and Louise and McGinn, and they were all charging in the box. So more of that should hopefully get them back. But
I mean, this game is like, I think both sides were taking decent shots, just like no one was like really convincing in their shooting. And good result for Everton. They need the points, especially now if they're going to get charged again. But certainly a dip in form for Villa that's maybe hanging around a little too long.
Yep. Wolves and Brighton played today.
Mm-hmm.
Wolves should have scored. So many opportunities. Good news is Neto looks really nice.
Yeah, Neto looked great. But yeah, like you said, like it seemed like, okay, their game plan, like they knew Brighton was going to have the ball a lot and control, which they basically did, and it seemed like Wolves are just going to play for the counter, and they had those handful of moments where they got the counter, but then it was like no one else committed.
Yeah.
And it happens like 3 or 4 times, or like someone would commit with the ball runner, and then like the decision making, just like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I kept an eye on Neto since he's in my fantasy team, and he's looking great. I think he needs his buddy Hwang back out there though.
Man, once that duo comes back, I really do think they'll be scoring a lot. That's why I've been holding off my winter transfer, and I really need to stay patient. But I'm just like watching Japan, because I kind of want to get Hwang in there, man. He was slotting in so many easy goals when Neto was there, and he was doing it too without him. I'm like, I just think I think they will make their jobs easier on both sides, and I want to get Watkins out of my team. If it weren't for Watkins one good week back in like week 4, he would probably be like 20th on our list right now. But is he still holding top 10?
I don't think he's top 10 anymore.
He is, Chad. He's 6.
Is he? Dang, he's still up there.
That's what I'm saying. He had like one crazy game, and everything else has been average to like bad since then. 32 points 1 week, and I think that's the most we've seen out of any player for any week.
I think so, yeah.
So, I don't know, a little inflated there. But that was with Matty Cash. That's what I'm saying, Emery.
See?
Like, get Watkins back to that level. Brighton looked kind of sad. They had chances too, but not the same Brighton that we saw last year or even in the beginning of this year. So yeah, kind of a boring game today. I thought the Wolves were going to win, and they didn't.
Had their chances, just couldn't take it.
Yep. Let's go Sheffield West Ham. Exciting game. Red cards in the 90th minute on both sides.
Yeah.
Kudos to Sheffield for really putting in the work. I think West Ham got a little robbed with that PK at the end there. This West Ham team, man, I feel like they're teasing me. They show me they're really good. I guess to get a draw out of that, though, it could have been worse. Every good team draws a subpar team every now and then. We're all guilty of it. I think we've all done it this season. Has Arsenal drawn a weaker side?
Yeah, I think the Luton game, was a draw. I think.
Liverpool drew Luton. I want to see you guys beat Luton.
Yeah.
Did Luton get away with draws on both of us?
It might have been a win. I just remember it was that last minute.
It was Declan Rice
header.
I think y'all got the win.
Oh no,
on that one.
Yeah, because that was the game where David Raya was like having a howler.
Oh, yeah.
So it ended up 4-3. So yeah, it very nearly was a draw.
I want to say you guys have gotten it done against bottom 5 or so.
I think we're doing pretty good there. Let's see.
Anyway, West Ham, fluke game in there.
It does happen.
I like James Ward-Prowse taking the PKs though. I think that's the right move. I mean, he's just picture perfect.
I mean, if he can do it at a free kick, he can certainly do it at a penalty kick. So
yeah, and I just want to see him play for England. Like if freaking Southgate takes Henderson over James Ward-Prowse again, I'll be so disappointed.
I mean, it to me it feels like you bring him along almost purely on his free kick ability, and if he finds his place in the team beyond that, cool. But as especially in international football, like I think set piece and free kicks are kind of more of a I guess common way to score, right? Because it's a little bit slower pace. It's generally the best players from all over the world, so harder to really break down a team and dribble through them and all that. And I think especially once you get towards the end of games where fouls start coming out a little more freely, you got a guy that can nail a free kick like pretty much no one else right now. So
it's Messi and James, who you want. And it might be James.
Yeah, could be.
Which is crazy to think about. Yeah, not too much more on that one. And then last but not least, Chad, Tottenham and Manchester United. I really wanted, as crazy as it sounds, I thought Tottenham, I kind of wanted them to take this one to just bring Man United down a level again. A draw is fine, but I like stepping on Man U as much as we can. Is Richarlison, do you think this is like going to stabilize this type of play from him? Because I got him on my radar too, and now he's like consistent right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's certainly found his place in the team a little bit more. You know, I think this Tottenham team is like more fit to their like fast counter tactics that they have now compared to like anything they've been doing in the past. And you know, Richarlison is maybe not the most clinical, but he's a lot of those balls that are being fed into him are like basically at the 6 yard box, right? So it's like tap-ins for the most part, and if he can hit that, then like that's certainly a good striker skill to have. I think he looks better when Son is out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd say this is, yeah, probably like kind of
This needs to be.
stabilize, like this kind of be his level. Like I don't think he's gonna ever be the dude to like really take a game and, you know, completely win it on his own. But you know, he's getting the goals now. Timo Werner
Yeah, what do you think of
back out.
that?
It feels like we knew Son was going away for the month, and we need someone who is like kind of similar in you know qualities. I don't think he's a long-term deal for them.
Yeah, I definitely was like, huh? Like,
Yeah,
was he
I
not
mean
having a good time in Germany?
I don't think so. I don't think I don't think he was starting games um regularly. I think he had only started like 2 games this season or something.
That's right.
So you know, it wasn't going all that well for him. But you know, once Son comes back, I don't think he'll really be out there too much.
Yeah,
So
he got an assist though. I mean,
yeah,
he
yeah, got
created
an
something.
assist. So
More
you know,
assists than Anthony this season.
that's it, and right away didn't have even have to wait. So yeah, but I gotta ask, are we entering Rashford time? Is it his season coming?
This is when it happened last year. He scored like 10 goals in 10 games, and
Yeah,
he got his goal in this game. He actually should have maybe had two.
yeah,
I think
probably
he probably screwed up his first chance when
for sure.
Hoyland finished off with a powerful boot.
Mhm.
But that was Rashford made that happen.
Yeah,
So, is it Rashford season? I don't know, Chad. I'd like to see when this happened last year. Like, when did it first start?
yeah. I know it's like right around here, but I forget exactly
So
when his run started.
in the last 3 EPL games, he has 2 goals and an assist. Can we look at last year's stats on who scored? I think so. Give me a second here. Fixtures of last year. Unfortunately, no. Who scored doesn't want to give me a history.
Rude.
Um, Offensive. I wish I can go by year on the fixtures. I think Transfer Market does a good job of doing that stat for last
Yeah,
year.
I'm pulling it up now.
On Transfer Market.
Yeah. Okay, so Premier League. Yeah, he kind of started his run December 27th, got a goal and an assist. Next game, a goal. Game after that, a goal. Game after that, a goal. Game after that, nothing. Game after that, a goal, then a goal, and a goal, and a goal, and 2 goals, and then it just dropped off.
What was the last day of the drop off?
February 19th.
Okay, well, this started December 26th. An assist, a goal,
What?
assist, goal.
All right. Well, he's running out of time. He's got some goals to make up here.
He's only had, again, 3 EPL games from December 26th till now. So I don't know what it looked like last year.
Last year was a little more compacted because this was the return after the World Cup.
Yes. Okay.
So more games in that span. Well, you had.
You know what? See, no, I'm not buying Rashford's season this year because last year in the World Cup he didn't really play that much, and I think he was feeling a little a little spicy, saying
Could be.
This is what you get. Look what I can do. and then he did it, and then he said, "All right, that's all I got."
And don't forget it.
Don't forget about my January after the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming. I think he is growing in confidence and kind of getting maybe somewhat back to in form, but I don't think he's gonna have a run like that again.
I don't think he'll have a run like that either. I still don't know what United really wants to do with their forward situation. They're moving people all around. Garnacho's starting now, which I think is the right move. Mm-hmm. But I think Garnacho does really well on the left-hand side, and that's where Rashford is. So I don't know. I'm okay with it. Them not knowing what they're doing, but and then yeah. Well, I guess last thing here, Onana playing this game, going back to AFCON. They're saying you're not playing. I think that is like.
Did you hear the journey he had to take too?
No, enlighten me.
Oh my gosh, I
did he have to travel?
Don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the exact like time frame, but he was supposed to fly out, and it got delayed because of weather. And then he did fly out, but then his like connecting flight got canceled, so he had to go by car for like however many hours. And then he got there, and they're like, "Yeah, you're not playing."
Why? Why wouldn't they just tell him this prior to him playing again in this game, and just be like, "Hey, if you play in this game, you're not going to play game one," and then he can not stress out about getting back there. Is that just pettiness on
maybe
on his country? Who's he play? Is he Cameroon? Yeah. I don't know. I think that's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean it's. I figure if he stayed to play this Tottenham game, I figure that was in agreement and communication with with the coach of the national team and stuff of like, okay, yeah, like play this, but then like get out here. Maybe it wasn't though. Maybe it's just United being like, yeah, you can have him, but like you're gonna have to wait. And then I don't know. It feels harsh either way because unless it was Onana's decision to be like, yeah, I'll come to play in AFCON, but I'm leaving late, and he just kind of pulled the big star card, but
maybe. But it sounds like he wouldn't make that venture through car and playing an automobile all the way there just to be like, you're not playing. Which they drew that game he didn't play, and the game he did play against Senegal, they lost 3-1. So Cameroon's probably going to get bounced from AFCON, and he'll be back in Premier League like in a week.
Yeah, so there you go. All that for nothing.
Hope it was worth it. I haven't really paid too much attention to the Asian Cup, but AFCON's been cool. I watched Egypt's game, and I don't know. Nice. It just reminds me of World Cup, and I just wish, not that I wish we had the World Cup every year, because then it would just become nothing. But it's cool to see countries like this fight for a cup. So I'm looking forward to Euro this summer. It feels like it's been forever since we did Euros, and
yeah, feels like a long time.
Was it 2020? Or was it 2020? No, it was 2021 because Italy won, right? That sounds right. I remember driving. I don't know if you remember this. I remember driving. That's when I was moving to Colorado, and I had, I think, the final on in my car while I might have been talking to you on the phone, or I was talking to, or we had some group, and I was talking on my watch or something. But I remember watching the PKs, or you guys were like communicating the PKs for me, and my Siri was telling me, because I think Jorginho got the game-winning kick.
I think so.
Game-winning PK. I don't know, just those final moments. I always know like where I am, and I thought that was a fun one. I'll never forget that game. It was pouring rain. I was terrified, and I really wanted to watch the final, but I had to drive across the country.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, Chad. Goal team player and meme of the week. I won't lie, not a lot of memes this last week. Not a lot of memes. And that's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Roy Hodgson for looking like he was going to cry after that game. He looked defeated, Chad. I said, this could be the end, which is shitty. A guy like him has to go out this way. So I'm hoping Palace can, I don't know, give the man a happy ending.
If they're going to look to Steve Cooper to be his replacement, then
oh God,
they're going nowhere.
Yeah, where are we going from here?
I like the Jordan Henderson
total meme,
but I really like Tarkowski calling over the big guns to fight for him.
Hey.
He's like, you too, let's go.
So good.
Yeah. So
and then Tony moving the ball, that's pretty meme worthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially scoring. He had to score.
Yeah.
And he did. So bravo. We're all winners here. I just hope.
Yeah.
I hope do good for our boy Roy. I was kind of a Roy hater last year, and I'm on the train again. He's too good. He was having a spicy season, and I don't want to see him go out this way.
No, not at all.
It's your golden year, baby. All right, Chad. Team.
Kind of struggled to like grab one that really blew me away. I kind of landed on Brentford because they'd been going through like kind of a pretty good rough patch and finally kind of pulled it together. Like,
I like that.
And I felt like watching them play with Tony was almost like watching Fulham play with Jimenez. Like, and when Jimenez was out, Fulham was just like all over the place. But when he was there, he was kind of that glue. And I think Tony's kind of has that same role. And then, I mean, to get a goal in there too is good. So they get my shout.
And they can get Mbumo back. Oh man, not till March now. It's gonna be a minute for him. So I'd like to see. It sucks. Tony's probably gonna be sold in the summer, but that Brentford team last year was so fun to watch, and we won't get to see that again. I don't think.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, kind of a bummer. But I like that. That's a good shout. My shout would have been City, but I really don't want to do that just because of the comeback.
I thought about it.
KDB, but we don't need to lean that way. Brentford is the way. Great shout. Player this week.
Yeah, I'm between two.
It's Kevin.
You got to shout out Kevin. 1 goal, 1 assist. In 20 minutes or whatever.
Bro,
he changed the game. My other one being Jota, 2 goals, 1 assist. Like, also, changed the game, but I think I'm leaning Kevin on this just because he was out for so long and came back like he didn't miss a beat.
Kevin. Yep, I give it to Kevin too. Dude, he just moves so different. He moved different from everyone else on the pitch. He took these long strides with the ball, looking like he's in slow motion, but he's not. And I think that's what threw Newcastle off too. And then just that open the hip goal thing was just so funky to watch. And I think that might end up on my post-it as the moment where I was probably, again, dude, the groan I let out was unforgettable. Unforgettable. So congrats, Kevin.
Yeah.
You're here to ruin our days.
Unfortunately.
Oh man. And goal of the week. This is tough. A lot of good ones this week. A lot of great finishes. Every goal in the City game was pretty spectacular. Even Isaac and Gordon's on the opposing side were fantastic. The Silva goal was really nice. Really fancy flick. Oscar Bob, a little 2-touch in the box. And of course the KDB goal that we can't shut up about. We can just go down the list. I mean, Maupay, Tony, Danilo, both of Martinelli's goals, carbon copies. I liked the Jota goal off the rebound. I thought that was great reaction for him to get back up and score again. The Nunez goal, the outside of the foot finish,
the second one,
from Joe Gomez. Like, dude, those were fantastic all around. I even like the Hoyland goal in the Man U game where he just booted it. Tough one for me.
Yeah, a lot of good options. I think the one. So the two that I saw and like immediately like felt a little like jolt of energy was Oscar Bob and Darwin's second goal. They were both just like almost kind of came out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
are a nice tidy finish as well. I think I don't know which way I can lean on that.
I think it's Oscar Bob for me, just because of
I think so.
Context, game winner. We've ripped on that dude like kind of all year as who's Oscar Bob, and then I was like, God damn it! Were you watching that game? You were in Disneyland at that point, right?
I wasn't in Disneyland yet, but I was at work, and I came into the game at like the last like I don't know 10 minutes or something, and so like came in basically right as that was going to happen, and I mean that one is just not only to bring down. I mean it's a Kevin pass. It was a perfect pass anyway, but still to like bring it down and then do your little like 2-touch shimmy past the keeper and slot it in. Like it takes a lot of concentration and effort, and wow, you did it.
2 words, Oscar Bob. Yeah, that sounds fair and accurate. Another heartbreaker. Chad, I can't say I have anything else here for this week. We went an hour and 15 minutes, and I was like, I was telling Chris, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And look at us go. Here we are.
That's how it goes, We just start going. And then it's an hour later.
It's amazing how that happens. Any other football news you're trying to speak up about?
No, pretty quiet over here.
Yeah.
Preseason starts for Sac Republic.
Beautiful.
Sometime in February, so that's starting up again, and hopefully get another good league push, good Open Cup push. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think let's see. We got FA Cup, and then Premier League will be coming back next week on the 31st. So get your roster transfers in. Hopefully no more injuries, because that just it's shaking things up in a direction I don't want it to go. So I got to make some moves here, but I think until then, we're
good.
All right. With that, Hooligans Pitch, we are out.
Peace.